Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany Nunes, and I'll be reporting on Homebuilders. The rationale or the problem being addressed are as follows. Parents are losing custody of their children for being deemed unfit by the social services. A large number of children are being placed in foster care, group homes, residential care, juvenile justice facilities, and psychiatric institutions. There is an unnecessary separation of children from their families. Child Protective Services is overloaded with cases that can otherwise be handled through mere intervention. Social work's concern. The vast caseload that social workers are faced with. The opportunity to focus on high priority cases as opposed to those that need minor intervention. The vast number of children that enter the system of institutionalization. Children suffer negative developmental repercussions being separated from their families. Institutionalization is a cycle, and those that enter the system often remain in the system. Society's concern. A large number of children are separated from their families and create for broken homes. Family separation causes emotional and psychological harm to both child and parent, which can negatively impact their development within the community. Without intervention, the cycle of dysfunction continues, starting with the parents and transferring to the children. More dysfunctional members in society create for more social and economic problems. What is home builders? Well, this is a program designed to cover a wide range of tasks for families who are at risk of being separated or are being reunited after separation by the social services. It provides counseling, intervention within homes that face crisis, education on life skills for families, and support for parents to better themselves in regards of work, transportation, housing, etc. Home Builders' goal. They aim to prevent the unnecessary separation or out of home placement of children, to educate families within their primary social settings, namely within the home, addressing problems within the home and prevent future escalation to where child protective services needs to step in, to create for better and more effective parenting skills to enable families to care for children in a more productive manner. Aid families in addressing problems that lead to child delinquency. Aid in the reformation of delinquent children while keeping them in the home as opposed to an institution. Teach families how to cope with delinquent children and the stress levels associated with their supervision and care. Help parents create structure and prioritize their lives for the benefit of themselves and their children. Identify family weaknesses and barriers that prevent them from functioning optimally. The target population of the Home Builders program: families with children from the time of birth to the age of 17 years old. Therapists work with the children and their families who have already been separated. Children that have been placed in the child welfare system. Children who are at risk of entering the juvenile justice system. Families at risk of separation due to lack of provision for the children. The program strategy of the Home Builders model. Therapists meet with the families within their home within the first 24 hours of referral by social services. Therapists make themselves available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for convenience and overall accessibility when the family may need them in time of crisis. Families are catered to based on their individual needs, whether it may be for food, clothing, or shelter. Essentially, whatever is needed to establish a suitable home. Methodology. They provide parents with behavioral training towards parenting and the responsibility of the role they play in the life of their children. Interviews are conducted with both parents and children, but are done in a motivational manner that does not further belittle the members of the family. Parents are taught skills in child behavioral management and how to give positive behavioral support to their children. Disciplinary measures to take with children that are safe and effective. Both parents and their children are taught proper communication skills to help them interact more efficiently. Skills in problem solving are examined to aid them in times of crisis. This process is extreme and can bring about a wave of emotion, and thus, mood management skills are imperative to their success. A safety planning measure is examined, whether it may be for within the home or the community. In order to gain a sense of organization and structure that leads to more functional behaviors, a daily routine is established to help guide the families throughout daily activities and gives each member purpose. The intervention process is not simple, and as a result, it is important for both the parents and the children to learn how to resist peer pressure when faced with the temptation of old bad habits and behaviors. Role play. Here I would like to show you a small role play of a home builder social worker speaking to a parent, namely me.
Good evening, Mrs. Jones. My name is Brittany Nunes. I'm here from the Homebuilders program. May I come in? Yes, I would love to have a seat. Thank you. Okay, so before you get nervous, I am a social worker, but my purpose here is not to take your children. The Homebuilders program is here to help you to find ways to ensure that you keep your family together. So, firstly, we can devise a plan to get your house in order and up to the standards that are required for your children to live here. I see that you have some leaking in the roof. Okay, we can devise a plan and get somebody in here to check that out because that is a hazard. And there seems to be some mold in the corner there. Okay, we'll have to have that addressed as well. I noticed on my way in that there's a missing window to the side of the house. Does that room belong to one of the children? It does. Okay, we will have to have that window replaced. If there are any other problems you're experiencing in your home, please let me know. My purpose here is to help. How are your children doing in school? Good, I hope. Well, we will help you develop parenting skills that will help you to better deal with your eldest child that, based on the social works report, said that you were having some issues with behaviorally. This program is here to help you, so don't worry. I am here to help you do whatever it needs to get done to ensure that your children stay within your home. Well, it was lovely speaking to you, Mrs. Jones. And I'll be back. We will have further discussion and how we're going to move forward with this process to ensure that you and your family stay together and stay together happily. You have a lovely day now.
Also, I'd like to show you a small recording on the Family First program. That is one of the initiatives.
We owe it to our children and our children's children to leave this community better than we found it.
Hi, I'm Broadcast Atlanta producer Leslie Tanner. This is the first in a series of videos that's going to tell you all about Families First and the great work that they're doing to strengthen families all over the state of Georgia. Now, just in case you're not familiar with Families First, we sat down with CEO Kim Anderson to hear what she has to say about the organization and all that they do.
Families First is Georgia's leading and largest family and child service agency. At the foundation and core of what we believe is that family is the foundation of community. So at the end of the day, what Families First is about is ensuring the success of children by empowering families and in turn strengthening community. So part of what we do at Families First is we have a very holistic approach. If we all rally together and just get back to the core of who we are as a community, and at the core is our children and our families and each other, and we all come together, that's what's pulled us through for centuries, and it's going to pull us through for the next century.
And even though it's serious work they do at Families First, there's also a lot of fun. Take the event Rebel for a Cause that was just held at Sweetwater Brewery, brought out a lot of young Atlantans to get together, have fun, and still make a difference.
The Families First initiative is one that supports the Homebuilders model, based on their mutual relations on wanting to keep the families together and involving the community in doing so. The Homebuilders model program duration. Each family receives 4 to 6 weeks of intervention. Therapists often meet with the families a minimum of 3 times a week or more based on necessity. Families may be given 2 booster sessions if needed throughout the program. Therapists will spend an average of 45 face-to-face hours with the family. My view of the Homebuilders model. The program holds great intervention value. With adequate support, it is possible to improve the quality of life for these families. But the time frame in which this program is to be completed is inadequate, as the therapists spend very little time physically with these families to promote substantial change. It may provide support and education on topics geared towards the rehabilitation of the family unit, but that alone does not suggest it is effective. Child abuse within the home is a cycle that may have sourced from generations gone, and a few sessions over a 6-week span is significantly insufficient to rehabilitation of such behavior. Neglect of a child can be psychological or physical, or even both. Victims may be both parents and children that creates for an unstable home. Treatment or therapy is short-term and does not give opportunity to address deep-rooted problems. The evaluation and effectiveness of the Homebuilders model. It was founded and practiced in Washington. Many researchers have done and are continuing to do evaluations on the program and its effectiveness both short and long term. It will take numerous evaluations and comparisons of statistical data, both on those without being admitted to the program and those who have been, with control parameters to eradicate bias. In order to substantiate its effectiveness, a formal study must be conducted with the suitable criteria for such a study. Would the Homebuilders program be beneficial in my community? Well, such a program would be beneficial to any community, given that it provides families with stepping stones in the right direction. But there is not enough evidence to support its overall success, and further study of the program would be needed before an investment of this magnitude could be made by the city. In my discussion with a retired therapist by profession and master's degree holder in social work, I was given new perspective on the program. In reality, a program such as this could potentially cause more harm if unsuccessful. Here is the bibliography, the list of references used throughout my presentation. I would like to thank you all for taking the time to watch my presentation. You all have a good evening. Thank you.